Okay, we'll now begin the Tennessee press conference. Coach Harper, if you could begin with an opening statement, please.
Yeah, obviously I'm disappointed that we didn't get the win. I'd love to have continued to take this team on the journey that we were on. And again, playing their best basketball at the end of the year. They were a lot of fun to coach. But just didn't have what we needed today. Obviously, NC State's a really good basketball team. We knew that coming in. But I'm proud of my team. Obviously, there's a lot of fight in that on that team, and I'm just really proud of who they are and who they've been all year.
Okay, thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll open the floor up for questions for the student athletes. Once again, questions for the student athletes. Let's go up front here, Sully.
Rakia, just what will you remember about these 2 years at Tennessee finishing off your college career?
Just going to remember the good times at Tennessee, the way that Tennessee molded me into the woman I am today. I'm just grateful to have come here, and I feel like I made the right decision. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Okay, let's go on the aisle there.
Tamari, I'll pose the same question to you. What does it mean the past couple of years to get to play with Rakia and Jasmine and then also at Tennessee?
About the same as what Rakia said. I feel like we're a big family. We've been through a lot together this season, especially too. So just knowing that we had each other's back out there and we'll fight for each other made it really special.
Okay, let's go to Cora on the side.
If both of you guys can answer this, just Rakia, you're on to the league after this, but what about this group that's coming back? What have you seen in them that makes you confident in them stepping into bigger roles next year and leading this program?
Rakia, could you go first?
Just how hard they go in practice. I feel like they're vets now, even, the young ones that's coming in. I feel like everybody just comes in and do their job, and we push each other day in, day out, so they're going to be dangerous next year. I'm excited to see it.
Tamari, do you have anything to add?
No.
All right, any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, we've got some Zoom calls. Lindsay, do you have a question, please?
Hey there, my question is actually for Kelly, so I can wait.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Jack Church, do you have a question for the student athletes?
Yes, Tamari, what was the change from the second to third quarter that allowed you to be so effective going into the second half?
I think just staying locked in on the defensive end. Gave up 25 points in the second quarter to our third and 9 in the third quarter. So I think just coming back out, knowing that we had to fight, and it started on defense with getting stops.
Okay, Maria, do you have a question for the student athletes?
Yes, a question for Tamari. Tamari, I know you have options in front of you and need to decide what's next, but in the short term, do you look back and are you proud of yourself for getting back this year after what happened to you?
Yeah. I feel like together as a team, I think we've all been through so much in this year, last year. So just knowing that we were all able to rally together and keep playing for each other made this group really special.
And then a follow-up for Rakia. Rakia, I know this loss is difficult right now. Obviously, you have a lot in front of you coming up. What do you think are your biggest takeaways from your time at Tennessee?
Just growing on and off the court.
All right, are there any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, ladies, thank you very much. You're excused. You can return to the locker room. All right, at this time, we'll open things up for questions for Coach Harper. Let's just go ahead and get Lindsay. Are you still there?
I am, thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Kelly, great season. Can you talk to us about what the officials said when NC State called that timeout? You thought that you guys had already grabbed that steal. Officiating has been a pretty hot topic this season across the country, and I'm wondering what they told you and if you want to comment on it.
I was just told the whistle got blown before the ball was inbounded. I don't know if they checked it. I asked them to check. I'm not sure if they could. You know, for us, the games aren't just singular. You know, we had that same situation earlier this year, and it was the reverse. I was calling a timeout, whistle blew, but they didn't give it to us. So that was honestly what I was saying.
All right, do we have questions in the room? Let's go to Cora, and then we'll get you, and then we'll get Aaron.
This game got really tight at the end. You guys were, fouling to extend the game. Rakia Jackson only gets one field goal attempt, I think, in the last 3 minutes. Just what was NC State doing maybe to keep her from getting that? And why weren't you guys able to get her more looks near the end?
Yeah, well, they doubled her, and Jewel got open, made a shot. Next time down, or one of the next possessions, we were trying to get her the ball, and we just didn't see her. And I think part of that was their ball pressure on the ball. Obviously, we're trying to get her the ball. I mean, everybody in the gym knows it.
Okay, let's go here, and then we'll get Aaron.
When you look back on the season in a few years, what do you think you'll remember from it?
Yeah, that's what I talked to the team about in the locker room. Man, this has not been easy for them this year. They went through a lot, and with injuries combined with some tough losses, I'm telling you, it would have broken a lot of teams, hands down. But they believed in their staff, and they believed in each other, and they continued to work hard and push. And the result isn't the result that we wanted, but the result was we were playing our best basketball late. Unfortunately, maybe not today, but we've been playing really good, and I think we can be proud of who we ended up, where we ended up, and that's what I'm gonna remember. And obviously, if maybe some things went our way, maybe a ball bounced our way in November, like two possessions in November, we're hosting right now, and that makes a difference. But so they continue to fight, and I'm proud of that.
Okay, we're going to go to Aaron, and then we'll get Cora.
Hey, Kelly. The South Carolina game was just a gut-wrenching loss, but you guys showed a lot of fight in that one, and then here you are a few games later, you're down 20, and you get it all the way down to 2. Kind of, what do you think was what was going through your mind, and sort of the way the players were responding in those moments that they had done it before, getting out of a hole, and were flirting with doing it again and on the road?
They've done it a lot this year. They've been able to wipe away a lot of big leads, and I think one thing that has always helped us, our emotions rarely get the best of us. I mean, we stay pretty even-keeled. And then, our adjustments, the team can make adjustments. They do a good job going out and continuing to fight and continuing to execute, and not trying to hit the home run play, but just chip away. And I think, there's no panic with this group. They just they've been pretty steady in a lot of adverse situations this year.
Okay, let's go back to Cora.
It feels like the junior class really kind of came into their own this season in their roles, especially today. When Kaya went in that third quarter, she completely changed just the energy of the team. Sarah being a consistent contributor as a starter, and Jillian, and obviously Caroline too. But just for you, what about their development and what they've shown you this season gives you confidence in them leading this team and stepping into big roles next year?
Yeah, I think our players have had our returners have had a lot of big game experience this year. They played in some tough games, some tight games, and some physical games, and they're very experienced. They're very motivated. I mean, that is some really hard working players. They just boy, they get in the gym. They put in a lot of time. They want to be good. They want to be coached. So to me, you've got the experience and the work ethic with a lot of our returners.
Okay, let's go to the Zoom calls. Jack Church, did you have a question for Coach Harper?
Yes, Coach. Only 8 points in that second quarter. What was NC State able to do well, and what was Tennessee unable to do to create good shots in that quarter?
Yeah, I tell you what, our offensive execution today was not where I wanted it to be. At the end of the day, 72 points is probably not bad against NC State, and the end of the day, it was probably more of our defense. But our offensive execution wasn't where I wanted it to be, and I'll tell you, I'll give credit to Reynolds Coliseum. It was very loud, and our team had a difficult time communicating our sets. That happened several times. Second half was a little bit better because they were in front of us, but it was tough in that first half. I didn't think we executed great in the first quarter. We just made shots when we didn't get those same shots in the second.
Okay, staying with Zoom, Lindsay Schnell, did you have a question for Coach Harper?
Yeah, Kelly, I had a quick follow-up for you. You said, you weren't sure if they went to the monitor and checked that. That happens a lot in late game situations. I wondered, have you ever thought about or wished that in college basketball you had one challenge the way that they do in college football, and you could challenge almost any call, and then if you lose it, you lose a timeout, but maybe it could change some things?
Yeah, I've thought about it. We've thought about it a lot recently. And I'm sure there's some implications that I haven't thought of, but right off the top of my head, I think that's something that could be a positive. I know they don't want to slow the game down, but I'm telling you, in some of these tight games, you want to make sure you get it right. And I wouldn't mind seeing that. Now, you might explain it to me, and I might change my mind later if there's some implications I haven't thought about. But I think we were actually discussing it as a staff this weekend, talking about having a little red thing that you throw out on the court. Not really, but, making it like football.
Thank you.
Maria Cornelius on Zoom, do you have a question for Coach Harper?
Yes, please. Coach, the replay shows that the ball was in play. Already had taken a bounce and was in play on the court when the timeout was granted. I know you can what if these things to death. I go back to the missed travel call against South Carolina with 3.8 seconds left. I mean, you can't linger on them because they're done, but just how hard is it to stomach the fact that the outcome of 2 postseason games was possibly altered by either a missed call or a bad call?
In these games, these teams are really good. And one mistake, one missed shot, one missed assignment at any point in the game can change it.
Let's go to the aisle.
Coach, can you just kind of sum up what the senior class meant, and obviously Rakia and JP who are out of eligibility?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously, I think, Jasmine Powell has to go from what she how she played last year, and then to have the load that she had this year, especially when Destiny got hurt. She had a lot on her, and I'm really proud of her and how she performed. She had an injury that kept her from doing an awful lot. People don't even know all that, but she's been tough all year, and I'm so proud of that. And then obviously Rakia is special. I mean, just special. So gifted. And when you get a chance to watch her play, you watch her in person, she's just so talented. I mean, she's one of the best players in the country. She's that good. And, deserves every accolade that she gets, and probably some she doesn't get. to be honest with you. So she's super talented, and it's been fun. It's been fun for me as a coach to move the pieces and to put them in the best position to be successful. When you have a player like Rakia Jackson, it gives you so many options.
Okay, we're going to get Cora, and that'll be the last question.
You just talked about, Rakia, the basketball player, but I'm thinking of the SEC tournament press conference. You were really emotional, and, Jewel did it too, but Rakia just kind of grabbed your shoulder on the way out to comfort you a little bit. Just how would you describe the relationship you've been able to build with her and what that means to you?
Yeah. I'm proud of her and grateful that she chose Tennessee, and I think that, like she said, I think it was a great decision for her, and what, hopefully we were able to do for her. She has grown up a lot in the last 2 years, and my thought is now that she's walking out, I feel really good about who she's going to be now and how successful she's going to be at the next level. And, we've worked really hard to try to help prepare her for life, as we do all of them, and for what's in store for her. And, I just hope that she continues to do what she's doing, because it is really special and fun to watch.
All right, I'm afraid that's all the time we have. Coach, thank you very much.